Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't a Christmas special, you liar. While yes, this is not a Christmas special, I feel it's worth mentioning at least in some capacity. Look people, let's be honest. Hanukkah is often typecast as the inferior substitute to Christmas. They aren't exactly making Hanukkah specials every year. Not for a lack of trying, of course. I mean, Adam Sandler tried. The operative word being tried. I actually have a theory on why this is. See, Hanukkah is tied to a religion, not a culture. As any insufferable know-it-all can tell you. Christmas's roots extend into pagan winter festivals such as Yule and Saturnalia. Christianity saying Jesus was born on Christmas was basically a civic compromise towards people who weren't eager to stop having these kinds of parties. And after years of cultural shifts, like making the patron saint of children into Santa Claus to serve as its mascot, along with immigrants bringing their own traditions to the table, Christmas became the juggernaut of a holiday that those same know-it-alls denounce as overly commercialized. You don't even necessarily have to be Christian anymore to celebrate Christmas. Despite only having a 1% Christian population, the Japanese celebrate their own version of it. The only reason why you'd want to celebrate Hanukkah is if you're Jewish, and apparently it's not even that important a holiday in the Jewish calendar. With all the disparate factors that compromise Christmas, the pagan roots, the Christianization, Santa, the lights, if you're from Central Europe, the weird goat man that wants to spank the hell out of you, media has been given a lot of wiggle room to interpret it however they want. All you need is the general skeleton, making it far easier to fill in the gaps. But everything that Hanukkah stands for is great-grandfathered in. Any deviations wouldn't make any sense. 'Cause see, unlike Christmas, Hanukkah has a story that links its components together. So, if you're gonna make a Hanukkah special, why not focus on that story and how Hanukkah works? And that's where Rugrats comes in. In hindsight, Rugrats thrived on the fact that the kids are experiencing these things for the very first time, so the show has a valid reason to explain things in simple terms. Why should Hanukkah be any different? Fact is, for a lot of people, this was actually their first exposure to the concept of Hanukkah at all. I know it was mine. Okay, so the episode starts in ancient Israel with the events that led to Hanukkah.
From now on, King Antiochus says you have to wear what he wears and read what he reads.
Look, Tommy, a whole book about Plato.
You also have to worship his gods.
Sheesh, where's Gabriel when you need him? Which is revealed to be a story that Tommy's grandma on his mother Dee Dee's side, Minka, is reading to the kids. She and Dee Dee's father, Boris, are here because they're all planning to go to the synagogue for a Hanukkah stage play where Boris is playing Judah of the Maccabees. Only problem is his boyhood rival Shlomo is playing opposite him as the king.
Hello, Shlomo. How's business?
Hello, Boris. How's the family?
So fairly early on, it's made abundantly clear that the babies have no idea what's going on, which makes perfect sense. Minka never finished her story. All Tommy knows is there's a menorah on the TV, and every night his mom lights a candle and his grandpa says a prayer he doesn't understand. While that's going on, Stu and Grandpa Lou are working on a menorah for the play. I can't really say why, but something about this just seems anti-Semitic. Anyway, after going to the synagogue and bringing Angelica for some reason, she breaks off to go find a TV.
I win!
Come on, Cynthia.
Well, can you blame the old guy? He did get Gimel. Returning back to the actual story, Boris and Shlomo are clearly butting heads, which wouldn't be so bad if they weren't currently performing. And after interrupting, the kids get placed in the synagogue's nursery, where coincidentally Angelica ended up. If I were to take a wild guess on why she's in there, I have to imagine it has something to do with the fact that she broke a guy's shin. After being convinced, they all help her escape. At the same time, backstage, the tension between Boris and Shlomo finally boils over.
Here. I got no one to share our tradition with anyway.
You can understand where he's coming from. Fact is, since he didn't have any kids, he probably feels like he can't pass anything down. Well, that is until he runs into the babies, of course.
They want you to read a story. Come.
You're the grandfather, you read it.
No, he wants you.
Finally, the pieces we'd been hearing about come together.
And so, against all odds, Judah the Maccabee won the right for his people to live and learn in the way of their forefathers.
Go on.
Though Antiochus had been driven from the land, he had left their cities and their holy temple in a terrible mess. And their beautiful menorah, which was supposed to burn forever, was broken and its flame put out.
Now the kids, and by proxy the audience, fully understand Hanukkah.
So, the people repaired their temple, but the Greeks had left only enough oil to burn in the menorah for one night.
But they lit the menorah anyway.
But one day went by, and then another, and another, until finally, the 8 days had passed, and the flame was still burning.
You know, because that's the thing about holidays. You don't necessarily have to celebrate it to understand what it means to people. There are certain universal concepts we can all understand. Community, passing traditions down to the younger generation, and hope for a brighter tomorrow. The festival of Yule is based at least partially on the idea of partying around a warm fire to ward off the cold winter together.
Shlomo Veran.
Oh my. And so ends our little play.
So, if you get the opportunity, I'd certainly recommend watching this for yourself.
Chitty-bum,